Okay, if everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube and maybe Twitch. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. Neither do I care about Twitch, if I'm honest. So, yeah, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't, I really don't care. Welcome back to Weekends with Avrona, everyone. The very first one of May. Can you believe it's May already? It's also, you know, the Star Wars Day. If you celebrate that, I personally couldn't care less. It's been a very interesting week regardless, with tons of happening. Here in the UK was local elections week, so, you know, faith in humanity's decreased a bit further after that. But of course, we can't beat all the things that have been happening once again in the world of AI. Plenty of really exciting stuff, but also, I mean, plenty of stuff that makes you just think, why? Kind of like elections makes you lose faith in humanity. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Almost everything in the world makes you kind of lose faith in humanity. That's just kind of a theme now, I guess. Anyway, I think we should just jump straight into it, because you probably saw it. I did release a video about it, so I wanted to kind of talk about it a bit further. Both to elaborate stuff I kind of skimmed over, but also it's the whole story is developing so fast that actually quite a few interesting things have happened ever since that video went live yesterday. Yes, it got much worse. So let's just go straight into it, shall we? So starting off, so this is Michel Ramon, I'm hopefully pronouncing it right, the guy who originally published the Android Authority article about being able to run the Rabbit R1 operating environment on Android, and he did a follow-up about it as well. As it turns out, the people behind the Rabbit weren't really too happy about his coverage. Who would have thought? Who would have thought they wouldn't be happy about getting exposed like that? But either way, basically, not only is it working on Android, not only is it very clearly just an ASAP app, but also you really don't need that, you know, good of a phone to even run it, because a lot of it runs over the cloud. So you can turn any phone really into a phone hosting Rabbit R1. It's really not really rocket science. The APKs are out there. I haven't tried any of the APKs myself. I don't even know where to download one from right now. I'll have a look around, and if I can get something to work, I'll definitely make a video about it, because it's just I find it so interesting. I haven't really done too much coverage on my channel about I've done some videos about AI. I've done some videos on, like, you know, mobile tech, but not really much. But I don't know, something about how hacky this is right now, and really the kind of Wild West that is happening here. It gets my inner geek going, you know, just exploring and stuff like that. I will have quite a few videos out like that in the near future, just really going deep into just very bizarre and janky stuff. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss that. But anyway, as he's shown off, it does work very well. Granted, it is just a very small window right now. Probably if you hack it a bit further, you could do resizing. Right now it probably just does whatever the resolution of the Rabbit R1 screen is. But I mean, it just works. It was able to scan the stickers. It works completely fine. And I think what's even more interesting is that people got working the other way and got Android running on the actual Rabbit R1 hardware itself. I'm pretty sure this was a screenshot of people running like Minecraft Android edition or something on it. It was actually insane, which obviously just leads to the obvious question: why is it an app? I mean, the answer is obvious, because they can sell you a fancy orange box for $200. That's the obvious answer, but there is so much more that goes into why exactly it needs to be an you know, hardware for their entire ploy here to work. I don't know if ploy is the right word. It's definitely not a very predatory or very a very obvious scam. Let's zoom in a bit further. Why am I so... there we go. We can see more of my beautiful face now. Just kidding. So yeah, it's not super predatory, but it is just still kind of what they've done. And the reason why it needs to be an app is because it can't be an app is because I don't think many people would use an app either. I've seen clips already of people trying to integrate the R1 hacked app on Android or iOS into their lives, it does work, but it's a very temporary stopgap. A lot of these AI products are very temporary stopgaps for solutions coming from the big players. What they want to do is they want to be the early adopters of the tech, and they want to make a quick profit before there's concrete solutions, concrete answers to what people want coming from guys like Android, directly from Google, from Samsung, from Apple, from Microsoft, etc., etc. Because, especially for me personally, I always hated having just more apps that do benign things. I always wanted to have as few apps as possible, and if possible, do as much things as possible on my phone, or through my smartwatch, or through anything else really, via the operating system. And think, where are all the people that were at one point making apps that were like, you know, a flashlight app for your phone, or a QR scanner app for, where are the people who at one point made a fortune, an absolute fortune, just showing ads in those very basic apps? They're probably working in McDonald's now. Okay, a few of them probably got jobs in software development if they haven't been fired yet in all the recent cuts in the industry. But all of that was just integrated into the operating system, and this kind of stuff will be integrated as well. It is a stopgap solution to things that are already being built into either iOS, Android, or whatever else you use. I mean, we're seeing it as well on desktop with Microsoft Copilot and stuff like that, even if Copilot isn't really getting, you know, really rave reviews right now. I mean, even stuff like my S23 Ultra right here, even though it's not the, you know, the newest phone, it is one whole generation old. It even is, it supports the brand new Google AI features, you know, circle to search and stuff like that, and it all will just be integrated in the operating system. People will not want a separate app that does it for them. They just want something that will already be integrated with everything else, and it's especially important for something like the R1, because a large part of it is also working with other things. It's integration, is being able to remind you about stuff in your calendar, add stuff to your calendar, order food on Uber Eats or whatever else they use, or Just Eat, or I think it's called something else in the States. So of course, if you want that kind of product integration, once again, doing it via the OS, which is the most like integrated thing in your entire smartphone, and that entire kind of personal area network you have between your phone, between your watch, between your, you know, headphones or earbuds, whatever you use. That central operating system, I think, especially going forward, is going to be at the core of everything you do, really. Add VR goggles or whatnot else, or like, you know, smart glasses to that in the future as well, and boom, you have this whole ecosystem where one operating system that does it all is king. Because people don't want to waste time having to click on an app, load a whole new app ecosystem, configure everything on that app, you know, sign into all these different services, you know, give all the permissions to change everything. People just want the solution that's integrated within the operating system. So this is very much a stopgap thing. Anyway, I got on a big tangent there. Anyway, Marcel, who was one of the big people showcasing a lot of this while it was, you know, still in the very few, early days of the APK, like hack leak, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that a lot of people were interested by is the apparent banning of devices that weren't, you know, that didn't have an IMEI that the system was expecting, because it all runs via their servers and stuff like that. It'll check for basically an identification number from the device to see if it's something they expect. And then, like I mentioned in the video, apparently the solution was just to look up any IMEI that you can find on Twitter, because it's literally just on the front of the box. Turns out you don't even need to do that much. Apparently it just accepts any alphanumeric string as a valid IMEI. So what is apparently happening was just rabid people just banning individual IPs or devices that they've already seen were using the Rabbit R1 via a smartphone. They literally don't even check for IMEIs. You can literally enter any word, any numbers, and it's going to apparently work. and they have the guts to try to counter all of the reporting being done right now online about what a mess this all is, right? They feel that they can just go out there and say, oh no, we had to make a hardware device. Oh no, it's not just Android, it's a special source kind of thing. Oh, there's all these like security measures in place. No, there isn't. There really isn't. Anyway, so like I said, the IP bans have been happening. However, it is all over the place right now. And also, it says right here that there will be eventually a dump coming, and probably when that happens, I will make a video about it, especially seeing how it's going to support everything, including over-the-air updates, which is awesome. Just you really don't need a hardware at this point, and I really don't see who could use the hardware at this point. I think that the genie's out of the bottle. All the news about what's been going on is out, and I don't think they'll make too many more sales. I'm still trying to wrap my head around where they will be useful. Some defenders of it, paid or not, was saying, oh, the point of it is that you're not distracted by your phone. Is that there's just super easy to understand thing where you're doing your phone. That's sorry to burst your bubble, that's just not how the world works. People like having the phone because they just like having everything in one place. They're not going to carry around a fancy orange box with them that does one specific thing, because, and if you're so distracted by your phone, then that's your problem. One other thing I saw is basically giving it as a toy for a kid, and then just talking with it, having fun with it, like scanning random things and being told what that thing is. One problem, I don't know too many parents that will give their kid a $200 toy to play around with. It's nice and bright and colourful, it has a cutesy rabbit character, but it's still $200 for a kid's toy. Yeah, no. Definitely not. So yeah, it's just a whole thing. It's still working, as you can see, and it's only getting better as all of these people are coming together. And I really do love how the internet's just coming together to really destroy this thing. We sort of basically the same thing happening with the Humane AI Pin. Granted, a lot of that stuff is a lot more difficult to reverse engineer, just because it had the stuff like that kind of like little projector, which obviously not I was about to say not every phone has. I don't know if any phone has that. But now, if someone does know of a phone that does do that, please do let me know. I actually want to see a phone with a projector. That would be a really cool thing. People are always talking about what kind of innovations we could use in phones nowadays. Give us a projector. That's their innovation. Boom, Apple, hire me. Anyway, one more thing that you probably saw in the world of AI is yet another product. Someone looked at the absolute mess that's been the $750, I believe that was how expensive it was, Humane AI Pin. Someone looked at the mess that was the Rabbit R1 at $200. So decided to make their own. This tiny thing, it's called the Tap, and it costs just $60. In fact, they go out of the way to talk about how, look at the price difference between that and the R1 and the Humane AI Pin. It supports all these great features, 17 hours of battery, which, okay, to be fair, 17 hours in such a small thing is pretty nifty. Tons of great features packed into a pretty small device. $60, that sounds pretty great. Except for that, once again, it is a stopgap solution. Two, while the Humane AI Pin at least look kind of like a stylish accessory, this just looks cheap. And turns out it is very cheap. In fact, it's literally just stolen from Alibaba.com, where it can be all yours for as low as $45 for 2 units, or if you're buying them in bulk, as low as $13.50. Just slow clap all around. I don't even know what the punchline, I don't even know what punchline to use here, because this in itself is the punchline. It's actually amazing. It's like all it takes now is just to make this like commercial, dress yourself in black, have a super minimalist look going on, and okay, and apparently, what on earth just happened? Everyone just kind of throws us up. Awesome. And yeah, if they're charging, how much is they? $60 for this, and in bulk it costs $13.50. They are making a pretty big profit if people are actually dumb enough to buy this. Honestly, I am tempted just to get one of these. I think that could be a really fun video. Getting one of these from Alibaba instead of getting an actual tap. I'm actually tempted to make that video now. It's like, I reviewed the brand new Tap AI companion, and it's just the Alibaba. That's a big reveal in the video. Granted, it's not a very big reveal if I've already said it in this live stream. Okay, just ignore everything I said in the past hour. Okay, it's metaphor. I'm gonna use my Jedi powers to make you forget everything I was just said, so it can be a surprise for the video. Okay. Anyway, and that's about it. I wanted to really talk about this month. It's a very short show, but apart from that, you know, not much else really happened. So that's really it. I guess the one final thing I want to say is, or two final things. Firstly, next week's Weekends of Avrona will most likely finally be the one I teased for so long, and that is the going through and ranking all the Discord activities one. But secondly, of course, our Help Us Go to Computex campaign is still going on. If you want to help support us, then you can still do it via Patreon, via YouTube memberships, via just dropping a super chat in this very live stream. It does go a long way, because guess what? Going to Taiwan, it ain't cheap, but it's really essential that we go. And especially without sponsors, it is going to be difficult. So all your help is very appreciated. It is the 4th today, so we have less than a month to make it happen. So guys, if you want to do it, then again, Patreon, YouTube memberships, super thanks, super chats, Amazon affiliate links, you know, Newegg affiliate links. You can literally buy anything via our links in the video description below, and it's going to count, and it will help us go to Taiwan. So like I said, anything like that will truly go a long way. But anyway, that's about it. 20 minutes record short show, but don't worry, they will get longer with time. We'll try to have some guests on, have some fun, have some community engagement, stuff like that. I remember that the GeForce Now one did really well. Lots of people getting engaged. That was awesome to see. So I'll probably do that again, but with the Ultimate tier. That will most likely be after Computex though, because I need all the money right now, focusing on Computex, making sure we can go, that we can do our part as, you know, as a tech journalism company. That's what we're trying to be here. So yeah, if you can support, then that'd be awesome. But anyway, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, then remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. So goodbye everyone. Goodbye.